Play.
Go. AOD performance piece review. We've got 2 videos today, guys. We're going to go through Onix and then we're going to go through Machamp. Okay, so Onix for time, 200-foot dumbbell overhead walking lunge into 21:15.9 of deadlifts at 143 for guys or 100 for the ladies, and strict handstand push-ups. I really thought I was going to get that through before it disappeared.
No, yeah, I put it on deliberately
talking
so
quickly.
No.
Right, okay, in this video we have Ross at the top. Is that
Chloe?
Chloe, oh, Chloe at the top, okay. Just Ross doing some lovely Russian twists. Harry in the bottom, and then Siobhan on the right. Lovely.
Now, little thing to say is that Chloe's doing her lunge out of shot. So
okay.
She's doing her lunge. I think she's actually the quickest on the lunge, so she'll get to the bar first, but I started all the videos at the same time.
Nice.
So, Harry, you can see...
Siobhan just has the longest lunge length ever, so much better than having to turn. Yeah, Harry's obviously had to turn every 25 foot, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Puts it down. Interesting touch. Everyone has a different thing. Puts it down, turns around, straight back up into a snatch.
So Siobhan's going for a 50 foot.
I don't actually know. I can't remember. I can't remember what she did.
Doesn't look like 25 foot though.
No.
It's definitely longer than 25 foot. If that took her 25 foot to do 45 seconds, I would be having words, but no, all good. Yeah, I mean, a lunge, right? Not loads to talk about here. So interestingly, looking in terms of who's keeping on what arm, so whatever length Siobhan just did there, she changes hands after one length of it. Nice, sweet arse.
Light foots, yeah, got it.
Yep.
Right. So my actual thoughts on the lunges when I came to attacking the workout was like, how much do you think this is going to affect the other movements? And then based off that, then that's how you attack it. Personally, I went unbroken on the lunge. I didn't put it down. That's probably because, I don't know, like, you're gonna have quite a big break because it was deadlifts first, isn't it?
Yeah.
For the handstand push-ups. So I thought, even if it does make my shoulders tired, I'm gonna get a reasonable break because my 21 deadlifts aren't gonna be really quick. But then it's also kind of what it does to your lower body and your posterior a little bit as well.
Yeah, there you go. So close through it in 140. So very quick getting through her lunge. Lightfoot's still got another length left. Siobhan, I'm not sure. Potentially she's doing like 75 feet lengths here. I can't remember.
Interesting. We talked about a little bit.
But Chloe very quickly to the.
With Harry here, I think he gets a second best score to this Harry here, and actually, you think that it's all in the deadlifts and handstand push-ups, but his lunge is way slower.
Yeah.
Than this Harry's lunge, and his second bit is way quicker. And if you'd have told him that,
You'd obviously would have sped up the lunge a little bit,
so
yeah.
But like, you think, oh, it's all in the deadlifts and the handstands, but he basically loses this because his lunge isn't that quick.
Yeah, I mean, if you cut his workout in half, like you cut the lunge off it, his second, because I think it's a pretty close margin. His second bit is probably faster than mine.
Oh, wait till you see some of these deads.
Yeah, so I mean, his second part's very faster than mine, but I full sent the lunge basically.
But that's where you then obviously retest the workout, right? If this is an open style workout, you'd obviously redo it again, but you can make up the time. For him, maybe it's a little bit faster on those lunges. Obviously very quick deadlifts for him though. Chloe's gone, I was gonna say she's gone 3s, but then she just busted out a 4 for that set. So
it feels good.
Everything. Yeah.
So if we want to have a little bit of a look at technique right now, I'd say that Harry's deadlifts are really nice. And basically what he's doing well is, as he gets to the knee, he just pushes his hips straight through to meet the bar. Whereas you look at Chloe, she's obviously a very developed like weightlifter, and she's almost kind of like clean pulling them in a sense. So I think a little bit of a technique adjustment might help. Look, you see how she like pulls it up her thighs? Almost like she's coming into a power position for a clean. And that's where in CrossFit, like where there's all these different types of movement, it's going to be quite important to be able to separate those and know what's going to be the most efficient way to do them. Let's see what Siobhan's doing.
There you go. So Harry very much last to the barbell and then first finishing those 21s. He's obviously strong on the deadlift, right? So that's good. That's going to be good movement for him. I think this workout was largely sort of, as I spoke about it before we even started, right? You're either going to be strong on the deadlifts, strong on the handstand push-ups. Like one of them is going to be a weak point for you, or you're not going to be comfortable with either of those, and then potentially should have scaled the workout slightly. But yeah, so one of these movements you're going to be able to get through fairly fast. Another one you're going to have to take a little bit more time doing it. Harry's obviously like, right, I'm going to try and power through those deadlifts fairly quickly, and then be quite big sets on the strict handstand.
I think he does 14-7 on the handstands. So yeah, I think he's actually good at both. I'd say, like maybe not like amazing in either, but very good at both. And so
if you're good at both though, where are you getting your rest?
That's kind of it though. No, you're right. Like he really, like, on a lot of it, you think, why aren't you just going back to the bar, or why aren't you kicking up again, because it looks quite comfy. But then obviously it means that you're getting through both movements fairly quick, and thus not really taking any rest. Like, I was able to push the deadlifts because I got more rest on the handstands.
I think his deadlifts look really strong.
As in positionally, they do.
Yeah, I wasn't watching that last set of handstands because I had eyes elsewhere. But yeah, I mean, look how quickly they're still moving. Like,
starting to get tired now. But I mean, when you're 10 through the 15, I mean, you're nearly there, aren't you? You're 30 out of 45 done, pretty much.
Is it sub 6 this workout?
Yes, it is. I think.
As in for the best scores. Okay. Ooh. Little double check.
That was it. That's where you lost it, Hazza, on that double check. You can't. It's hard to compare when you're not going against somebody directly.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah, it's true.
I always have a lot of respect for these guys that do it on their own, because you've got to remember that we often do it on a Sunday, so we see a lot of the scores coming in.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like Harry sometimes holds his score back.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame him. I'd do the same.
I'd do the exact same. But then we also have the people there. Yeah. So, like, regardless of who you're competing with in that workout, you're at least going to have that adrenaline at the start, just because of what's going on around you.
It must be sub 7 actually, has, not sub 6. Yeah, I mean,
is he on his 15s now then?
This is the round of 15.
I think for a lot of people on this workout, it's about not blowing yourself up on one of those movements, right? Not going out too hot and getting to the point of failure, especially on the strict handstand push-ups. If you go out too hard and you sort of get to the point where you're not going to, it's one of those movements that once you lose strict handstand push-ups, they're very hard to come back. Yeah. It's just about knowing your capacity and sort of like trying to really, really ride that line until you get to the 9s, when there you can almost like go to failure, right? Because you're just trying to finish off 9 reps. So for Chloe, maybe strict handstand push-ups aren't as strong as for some of these other guys, so it's about same for me in this workout. It's about just measuring your like sort of output and just not
riding
going
the line,
not
going over it too early, because you're right. Like for a lot of people, I think this workout was actually like a win in terms of getting through the volume of strict handstand push-ups in a fairly short time.
Yeah, because they're movements we've seen in the open now, but they're normally at the very end of a workout, right? That weight of the barbell and strict handstand push-ups have only been in the open once, maybe twice now. So that it's like it's not going to be a case of this is a standard open workout, right? This is going to be a very heavy and also a very hard open workout for people to go. I'm watching this guy. That's a second clean at what, like 150 or something? He just missed. It looks
big weights on it.
Nice. Pretty sweet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at these guys' handstand.
Yeah, so Siobhan's went 777 on the strict handstand push-ups. Now, handstand push-ups are a strong movement for her, but we've spoken before a little bit about the positions she sometimes gets into, but these actually look a lot better than they can do. Sometimes she's a little bit guilty of very much breaking at the hip and letting her bum sort of like sag onto the wall, being into a very broken position, which isn't necessarily bad, but what it means is when you're in a workout that potentially has the standard of meeting a line on the strict handstand push-ups, you're going to really start to struggle if you're deliberately getting into a bad shape. But
she's making a nice tripod, isn't she? Like her head's going forward.
Yeah, she is strong in her press for sure.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, there you go. So she's starting to let her whole self come towards the wall there.
Okay, yeah. On the way down.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be a great position to press from.
Well done, Hazza. Good score there, 656. Good score. Quicker lunge.
It's very much as like when you talk about like the training pieces of like movement capacity, like stuff like that. That really lends to this style of workout.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
It's just basically like, what can you manage with these two movements? You'll find that as people get better, the scores will exponentially get better, because all you need is your capacity to be a little bit more on certain things if you're on that edge, and you'll just be loads better at this workout. So like, say you could look at 21 handstands and not be too daunting, your score's already going to get way quicker, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas like if you look at it and you're a bit like, I'm in an orang, it will slow you down, especially in a confidence terms, but then also how much capacity you actually have. Chloe's getting pumped.
Siobhan's smashing out some deads.
Yeah. Boom. She is quite good at doing that in terms of like using momentum really well on especially some barbell cycling movements. But again, like if you do that technique she's sort of doing there for all of this workout, you're going to really start to jack up your back, right? So again, it's about controlling your position a little bit for those first 2 sets maybe, and then when you get to the like 9 to finish off, which just sort of get through them as quick as you can, right?
When you see
try and hold on
for
for big sets and just go for it. Her strict handstand push-ups, yeah, I think need a little bit of work in terms of her descent. She's very strong in the press. We haven't touched on that much, but it's something to address, like we spoke about quite a lot before, that time under tension and the speed you actually spend doing your reps. If you watch her do a strict handstand push-up now, maybe she'll make me eat my words. Yeah. But there you go, quite slow on the descent for each rep, and also how she's obviously breaking towards the wall a lot now. She's starting to get fatigued, but that's like slow descent. It's just quite a lot of time and tension instead of trying to be really, really quick with your locking out your elbows and almost like bouncing off your head.
That's something we've been working on.
Save some time.
Like, if you're not moving fast, come down.
Yeah.
Just
no, that's something that I've worked with my athletes quite a lot as well. Is like the strength is a factor, but then also how you executing them on a regular basis. And it's like when you get fatigued, you don't start doing slow reps, because it's actually just like what the energy that would normally be 1 rep is now like the energy used for 2 reps. So you're only
I used to think it was cool, like I would start resting at the top and being like, this is good,
I'm gonna stay up.
But then now if I think about it, I just come down straight away, and I'm like,
you're totally right.
Let's go.
10-16, so still fairly good score. This is another one Siobhan was like, this is a workout that can be very, very good for her, but getting back into doing some performance pieces which she haven't managed to do for a while. I'm sure she's saying something delightful in there.
Yeah, I think on the next one, Lois has a bit of a talk to the camera afterwards as well. But I obviously
down with the camera.
I can't have all 3.
See, so in comparison, Chloe's handstand push-ups are really, she locks out her elbows very quick, and she's also quick on the descent. So they actually look like they could be a really strong movement for her, but like you say, like need work a little bit on that capacity. So
it's hard. I think these deadlifts are very heavy for her, and it's
well, she has had a lot of back injury recently, so it's probably also a little bit of a confidence issue getting that 100 kilo barbell. She's probably a little bit reluctant to really attack it, which is totally understandable. But yeah, the strict handstand push-ups look really good.
It's just that capacity work, right? Which comes with just literally sheer time and training.
I hope she's just chalking her hands for strict handstand push-ups. I do that.
Well,
slippy hands, right? Slippy hands.
Yeah. I'm not sure what Chloe's on. Is this the 9?
Yeah. No, this is the 15.
Okay,
15.
sure.
So, yeah, I mean, you can see as well in terms of how like people's technique changes as they start to get fatigued. Okay, Siobhan got that sort of like whole body started rocking towards the wall, losing position, which is obviously just a case of trying to get them out and like not like as you're getting tired, especially with the deadlifts, you're losing a lot of core tension. So you want to be sort of relaxed in that position. With Chloe here, her shoulders obviously getting very, very jacked up, and she's going to start to struggle with her shoulders and her triceps. So that's why she's getting that like tilt to her head towards the wall to almost try and get more like pec involved to make that strict handstand push-ups a little bit easier, right? Which, as you get fatigued in a workout, I totally understand people doing, so she did it there as well.
I know the feeling.
And I think it's a good tool to use when you're getting towards the end of a workout. I think you don't want to rely on that technique to do a lot of strict handstand push-ups. It's about building, a lot of strength in a really, really good virtuous position, and then having that if you need to. Like, always try and reinforce with athletes to move really, really well in workouts, so that once you get to that point of fatigue and then your form does start to break down, you start to look for little areas where you can make your movement a little bit easier. Then you still have like some capacity in reserve, instead of it almost being the other way around, right? And you start movements badly, and then sort of once you get jacked up or really fatigued in those bad positions, it's really hard for you to carry on at all without reaching your complete limit, because you've not got enough in reserve.
You have 2 types of handstand push-ups, when you feel good and when you feel bad.
So she's obviously Chloe's obviously taking a lot of time here bracing up for that first rep, and also like controlling the descent down, where you see some of the other guys obviously bouncing that barbell very, very quick. This is obviously a very taxing workout on the back, on your core. So for someone who has had a back injury before, obviously taking it very cautiously, which is totally the right thing to do. Not just trying to rush through it.
I mean, I don't know. By the 9, I think for most people it's like you can see the end, so you're trying to push it. Equally, most people are getting fatigued at this point some way or another, so you are sort of riding the line.
She got through his 9 pretty well.
Yeah, did well there.
I thought she was going to tighten her belt up again for handstand push-ups.
9 handstand push-ups to go, and it's tough because you can see the end, but nice, Chloe.
Yes, quick reps, which is good. She pops her elbows well.
5, yeah, nice.
Decent.
It's just having the capacity in the locker. I mean, I struggle with these to get to the 9, and I'm like, come on, here we go. And then you do 5, and you're like, I literally can't do another one. I wish I could, but I can't.
Fast singles bust them out. Yeah, so I mean, so different things to talk about for each of these athletes. Harry, obviously, it's maybe trying to attack that lunge and trusting your ability a little bit more. Obviously, in hindsight, if you saw other people's scores, or if you're retesting that workout, that's where you try and pick up the time, right?
The only thing with that one is, mate, if it's open workout, like the deadlifts can write you off for a couple of days, and so it's like if you do Friday, Monday,
that's why you do, a little bit long time.
That's why we don't like to encourage you get another go.
No, it's best to try and attack it once on one, and that's why, like you say, maybe trust your ability a little bit more. Now you have done a workout like that, right? With Chloe, I think it's just that's probably the best she could have really hoped for in terms of execution wise. Really good on the lunges, back obviously still in the course of rehab for her deadlifts, and then her strict handstand push-ups look really, really strong. She just needs to increase her capacity. For Siobhan, it's getting more into that intensity of performance pieces. She hasn't done very many recently. Deadlifts looked really strong for Siobhan, and then it's just like strict handstand push-ups. Right, again, maybe trusting her capacity because she is strong at strict handstand push-ups when she holds her shape. Okay, next workout. So we got Machamp for time 975 bar muscle ups and overhead squats at 84 or 60 kilos. A lot shorter of a workout here, so really good one to get through.
Who have we got? I know we've got Dan Shepherd,
Lois,
oh, and we got Hazard.
And Haz, there we go.
Okay.
I didn't know you had my video. I wasn't expecting to.
We're off.
We got G in the side.
Oh yeah,
as well.
you can see G's muscle ups, which have come on a lot, which is great work. So I think with this one, it's a little bit like the last one, as you're saying. Like for Dan, for example, he can do these muscle ups, but these overhead squats are a bit of a limiter. So it's whether you...
Did he scale his weight?
No, I don't think he does.
Oh really?
Dan, let us know. But I think he does them at 84.
Okay, epic.
I mean, look, he's off the bar, similar to you.
His bar muscle ups look really good, nice and tight.
But I'm not sure. We'll let us know.
I guess this is a very similar workout to that last one in the sense that it's like challenging movements. It's very much based around what's your capacity in the movement and how well can you ride the line without
maybe he does.
Without pushing it a bit too far, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I know for me personally, this is all very much in the bar muscle up capacity and like being like I've got to go now. Because I'm literally watching Mike across the room jump up, but then am I going to be able to hold on for an unbroken set? If I break it, I've pretty much thrown the workout away because it's such a short workout.
Yeah.
Similarly to the strict handstands, I guess, in the last one for people, like you don't want to take loads and loads of breaks. So that's good. I mean, for Lois, I feel like it's a similar kind of story. I haven't actually watched her workout in detail, but her going unbroken all her bar muscle ups here is really good for her.
Yep.
And then also the combination of the heavy overhead squat.
You've been working those, haven't you?
Yeah.
You know, since last year at SID, she obviously had that event with the, what was it, a 70? Were they?
No, 65, I think.
Okay, so similar sort of stuff that we're looking at.
But it was a sprint workout as well, similarly to this. It was like ski burpees, then 9 overhead squats, I think, at the end. I mean, they've come on a long, long way.
Ooh, good save, Lois.
She's also snatching the first rep as well, though.
Yeah, which is good. I mean,
I'm hoping Dan has scaled that weight, because if that's 84 kilos, what he just did for that snatch, that boy is...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Very strong.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, either way, I think that he's like scaled it, and he's moving with you guys almost.
Yeah, so that's perfect.
So it's like a good scale, right?
I've almost lost track of where we are. Am I on my last bar?
This is it, Hazza. Yeah, this is it. It's a very short workout.
You'll all notice that I started overhead squatting back somewhere by the rig, and I've now ended up literally in the camera.
The camera's in danger.
Yeah.
Last set.
But yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting. For me, it was the other way around for this one. Bar muscle ups were good. If anything, want some more. Overhead squats.
What do you think it was on the overhead squat? You obviously missed the snatch, but was it because your grip was a bit smoked, or maybe
I don't know,
your shoulders when you were trying to like turn over?
Let's think. I'm going to go with that probably.
I couldn't feel my arms. It felt
there you go. Sorry, I didn't put your score up there. I couldn't put that.
What was it, like a 3:0?
2:59. I think it was just maybe
2:58. I think actually.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, obviously, there's a little bit of like I'm trying to sync everyone up, so there's a little bit of that going on. But yeah, it was.
Here's these guys. Go. Good.
So I think everyone so far has gone broken on the muscle ups, which is good. I think Dan missed a rep on the overhead squats.
Yeah, he did on the 7. Yeah, he missed the first rep.
Looks like he's in a bit of a groove now. It looks like some other people might be doing it as well.
I thought this was a really, really well designed workout. It was really inclusive for the level of people that we're kind of targeting. So a lot of people who are doing these performance pieces around our programs, they're like sanctioned event level athletes, and this is right on that line. If you wanted it to almost be like targeting a more of a games field, I guess it'd be like 12.96 or something like that.
Or you'd increase the weight of the overhead squat stuff to 100, right? Like you saw at the end of that SID workout. So like we said, really very well done for lowers there, getting unbroken on the muscle-ups. Dan, I think he's going to be able to hold on for unbroken on the muscle-ups as well. I think that was a big, almost like tester for a lot of people, right? We've done quite a bit in the AOD Athlete program about trying to get that sort of volume of muscle-ups and confidence with it. So a workout like this, it is almost like, again, say knowing your capacity, but because it's such a short sprint workout, you just sort of have to try and go and trust it almost. You can't be like, oh, I'm going to break this tactically into a 9 and a 4 or like 5 and a 4, sorry, or whatever. You sort of need to hold on for unbroken on both of these if you want a good score.
Agreed. And you're right, Ads, like with these, this is the time to practice going for it and knowing, so that if workouts like this come up, if you're ever faced with an event like this, you know that maybe like Has, like it was your grip or whatever it was that's the limiter. Like I know that maybe I need to take a little extra second before I go for the snatch or whatever it is, or just clean them
with those reps.
Put it over my thing.
That's what I spoke to you about, right? On that workout that, say for instance, it's obviously not happened to any of these guys, but you get to that last barbell, if you're not 100% sure about hitting that final snatch, just don't even bother snatching it, just go straight into a clean jerk, because if you miss that rep, it's going to be quite big or a long amount of time for you to have to go back to it, right? So I think when you're in the groove right there, just go straight to the bar and just clean
over my head and then do it would have been way quicker than what I ended
a lot quicker than missing 2 snatches and then hitting a third, right? So if you get to that last barbell and you're not even maybe just a little unsure about it, it's just a case of right, might as well go for that clean jerk, right, save some time on
but then you learn, that's why you do these. To learn.
Yeah, for sure. That is a workout that you definitely could retest as long as your hands don't rip, like obviously in the open. But if you're fine, you could retest that workout once, maybe even twice, because the volume is fairly low. It's obviously quite high intensity, but again, you sort of learn, maybe you do execute it wrong in that first workout, maybe you try and go unbroken, you haven't quite got it in the lockout, or you miss some snatches, and you think, right, I know I can save maybe 20 seconds just by clean jerking that rep sort of thing.
With that, I'd say it's not very open specific, right? I know it wasn't designed to be, I know it wasn't, but with that, I'm assuming in the open it would be like, you'd have like lighter bar pull-ups, medium bar chest to bar, and then you might have like heavier bar muscle-ups in like a ladder.
They need the inclusivity, don't
and the separator of all the people.
So that's a workout that maybe just be like overhead squats at maybe 50 kilos and increase the number of reps of like a chest bar.
That's what it'd be, something like that.
Definitely. We'll start to chuck it in there.
Yeah, like a 7-minute piece to 10 minutes. Yeah, definitely. So that's the two of those.
Yeah.
What's next?
Good workout, guys.
Evie, there's an Evie to come, and then there's this week's piece.
We're playing catch up a little bit.
Yeah, obviously being in lockdown, we're not going to have as many people's scores and stuff like that, but we can try and keep those up just to keep people in the loop. I know some people do have access to facilities a little better than last time, so
yes,
hopefully we can keep the momentum rolling, come out of lockdown, everyone's prepping for the Open.
Everyone is now already prepping for the Open, so that'll be good. So,
Sweet. And then when COVID's over, a big AOD camp.